Welcome to the Spirit of Watercolor, take 3. I've been trying to make this video for y'all today, and I welcome you again to this wonderful little studio in my basement. I wanted to show you today about dab and drag technique. I did this before, and I'm redoing it because it is a wet on dry technique. I kept saying in my previous take of this that it was a wet on wet. You have dry paper, and you're going to take a wet brush. You can use a flat brush. You'll notice my brushes are pretty large. This is a square flat. That was a rounded flat. The round here is rounded. And then I have my pointed round, which is very large and very nice brush here. Here it is. Sorry. And it has a point on it, so you can get different shapes by dab, dragging, and lifting. That's our technique. It's very much what it's called. Your hand goes through that motion. And if you use the pointed one, you're going to get a pointed shape, more like that right there. If you use the rounded brushes, you're going to get more of a rounded edge. Here's some more pointed ones right there. And then, of course, this is a little more squared off, that one. And also the dabbing and pressing is going to create the, from thinner to wider in there. So there's a pressure when you dab, press, in, drag, and lift. Now, this one here, I think I was just mostly using the rounded, but in this one, just using one color, you can see that the petals have a little different amount of watercolor applied. As you press, you're going to get somewhere it's more concentrated color, and somewhere you're going to see the transparencies to the white of the paper, which is what we love about watercolor, right? Okay, so let's go around the table, and I'll do a few dab, drag, and lifts for you, and then I encourage you to have fun. Put on some music and just play with the paint and dab, drag, and lift for a while, and see what kinds of shapes you can create that are fresh and non-labored, and of course you're not going to overwork the paint or the paper, so you'll keep that fresh, transparent watercolor look that we love. Okay, so let's go around the table, and I'll just do a few of these for you. Hopefully this time it will all work out really well. Glasses are a must. And I'm just going to bring my thing down to the board. My board is tilted here, and it's on a gator board. I've taped my paper, and get our lights as good as we can here. I'm in a dark basement, and it's a rainy old day, I think, or it's a cloudy old day, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see than when I get a lot more light in the basement. Lighting is always a challenge. Let's start with our round with the point. Okay, and again, this paper's wet on dry, and I'm just going to grab some color here on my palette, my Big John Pikes palette. And I would like to talk to you in the next, or one of the next videos. Here, I'm mixing some beautiful pyro orange with some yellow here. Okay? And get the brush really wet and then really load it with color. I can do a lot more than that, can't I? And the more color you use, the more success, I always say. At least, when we're learning how to paint, we have to start to build that confidence. Okay, now just want to try one more time to straighten either the paper or the okay, yes. Now, let's get that brush and let's dab, drag, and lift. Okay. Dab, drag, lift. Dab, drag, lift. And you get started, don't worry, how exact and perfect they are. Okay. Dab, drag, and lift. You can keep reloading more paint as it starts to unload onto your paper. Release. But the technique kind of gives you something. Dab, drag, lift. Dab, drag, lift. dab, drag, lift. I'm kind of going the opposite way to see what'll happen. I'm experimenting. Okay, and then let's see, we'll try another brush. Maybe we'll try the flat that has a curved edge this time. This is a recent brush for me. It's just a synthetic Cotman student grade Winsor Newton brush. And yet it really does do some nice things. Dab, drag, lift. Dab, drag, lift. Dab, drag, lift. And you notice if I go reverse that I'm going to have a little harder time with this edge. So I might come in and just, yeah. But the big brushes, you know, you can just come in and, here, let's just take a wet brush, clean that up a little bit. Don't be afraid to get in there a little bit, but again, the main thing I'm trying to do here, push that up a little bit, see where what you're seeing, if I'm seeing what you're seeing. Okay. And you can actually do some drawings if you want of a particular flower or flowers, or you can do like I'm doing and just kind of see what they become and get excited and inspired about that. Okay, and also try different directions with this. Let me grab some more paint. Dab, drag, lift. Try twisting the brush a little. Dab, drag, lift. See what happens. What happens. Oops, different directions. And see if you can make something out of that. And, you know, if they're not perfect, just keep going. You know, get a whole bunch of sheets of a pad of paper if you can, you know, of Strathmore paper or some good brand of paper, and see what you can, you know, make. I am going back in, but I'm not laboring when I go back in, because sometimes it doesn't come out quite like you intended. The longer you're doing this and practicing, the more your brushes are going to get saturated with water and paint. You know, actually find more success, I think. I wanted to just kind of bring in a little bit more value, more strong color into certain areas, and see if I can't make it kind of have a three-dimensional sort of look happening to it here. Maybe in here, you know, dab, drag. You can also use the side of the brush. You don't have to just be flat with it, and see what you might get, like dab, drag, lift. Dab, drag, lift. Dab, drag, lift. And you might get some interesting leaves or grasses. And then, this is my super pointed round. It's a smaller one. It's something I could do to try to make, say, grasses. I'll pull some green in maybe here. And start, oh, that's very dry brush, isn't it? Okay, but that's a technique called dry brush. But anyway, you can see here that I can start to create really thin lines too. Still dab, dragging, and lifting. Dab, drag, lift. And when the brush is dry, you do get that kind of scratchy look, a dry look. It's a dry brush effect, which is more textural looking. So we just start to discover some techniques in this journey here. So I just want to stick to one technique at a demo. So there you go. There's a dab, drag, and lift to play with. And let's do some more of these. And we'll do some of these over top of a wet on wet background very soon. And I'm very excited to have you join me again today. I hope you feel encouraged. I know this is kind of crazy looking. And this one here was a little more, I think I was a little more satisfied with it. And then some of these as well, where you can see the different saturations of color. And again, here's a dab, drag, and lift of just maybe a stem. And, you know, it's just, see where you can go with this. I'm not the most perfect painter there ever was. And I have sold paintings, I have shown paintings. I've gotten into galleries and all kinds of good things, and it's not because I'm fantastic, but it's because I love it. And that's the thing that one has to kind of get past is, you know, being too hypercritical or too perfectionistic. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you will join me for a lot more fun how-to videos where we can get you in here having a good time and feeling confident about your watercolor and find some enrichment, joy, and some spiritual connections. Thank you so much. If you like this video, click on the like and subscribe, and I'll just keep on making videos for you, and we'll do this once a week or more. Take care. See you soon. Bye.